Good morning and welcome. I'm Celeste and this is my YouTube channel, Celeste Creates. This is FlossTube video number 78. And today is Wednesday, October 30th, 2024, the day before Halloween. We're almost in November. I can't believe it. Today, I'm here to share mostly stitching, and I'm glad that if you are a returning viewer and subscriber, I'm thankful that you've come back to visit with me. I'm glad you're here to share in what I've been working on. And if you aren't a subscriber, I'd love it if you would hit that button and subscribe. And all of you who are new, who've recently found my channel, thank you. I hope you'll subscribe too. I hope you'll find some inspiration here, something to get you going with your stitching or your quilting. I love to do all kinds of needlework, and so you'll see a little bit of everything here. Mostly cross stitch. I think I spend the majority of my time doing cross stitch. So welcome if you're new. I'm really glad you're here. As you can see, I am in a I'm not in a new location, but I'm facing a new direction. So last week I had my friend Claire over. Hi Claire. And she and I were up here kind of trying to look. This is my mom's machine that I think she bought in 1970. I still have like the little, she wrote in the little booklet. It is in absolutely beautiful condition. But when I brought it home, probably at the beginning of the year or late last year, as we prepared to sell the house I grew up in, I brought this home and I actually could take a few stitches on it at first, and it stitched, and then something happened and it wouldn't catch. I can't catch the bobbin thread anymore. So when you turn the wheel with, the needle should grab the bobbin thread below, and it won't do that anymore. So my friend Claire and I were looking at it and trying to figure it out. Claire found a video that actually I think is the problem. I actually think my husband can fix it. So this table here that I'm sitting at, which is my kind of my work table, ironing table, it was facing a different direction. So I realized that, oh, if I got in here and moved just a little bit of stuff and I rotated this table 90 degrees, I couldn't get to this machine. So my other machine, I just put in the window here. That's my other machine in front of the window there that I sew on. And I realized that it's gonna be terrible. I couldn't really get to this machine if I wanted to sew on it, even though I can't sew on it right now because it didn't work. But so I thought, oh, if I move my table 90 degrees and sit facing a different direction, then I'll be able to get to this machine as well when it is ready to go and I can sew on it, because I'm really wanting to sew on it. Here I have, in a case, I have another machine. This is an old Singer. It's not a featherweight, but it's I can't remember the number, but there's an old Singer in there. That's my mom's sewing cabinet that I also brought home. And my upstairs stitching chair is over there, and that's my fan, and I'm not sure I like where I am right this minute, but we're gonna deal with it. So hopefully this works. Hopefully the lighting's okay. The lighting didn't look too bad. You'll have to let me know what you think, but we are all good here. I had my oldest son home for a week recently for his fall break from law school, so that was great to have him home. Everybody's kind of doing their thing with school and life, and my husband was out of town for a week. I didn't love that. He hardly ever travels, so I'm not fussed about it, but it's not my favorite thing. I like having him here. So I've been doing lots of stitching, except like the last 2 days. I didn't stitch at all yesterday. That was the busiest Monday or Tuesday I've had in a very long time. Today is Wednesday. I'm hoping not to do a whole lot. That takes me out of the house. And then I think Thursday, tomorrow, and Friday are gonna be busier. But, I'll get some stitching in. So I'm here to talk stitching. it's still too hot here for October 30th. I hope that window's not too bad. Anyway, let me pause and see if I can mess with the blinds. I'm not sure that helped. Oh well, it is what it is today. If I don't like how it looks, then next time I'll just I'll go back to sitting where it was. It'll be a little weird, but I'll figure it out. So bear with me this time, and next time I'll decide whether I like it or not. So yeah, it's still just way too warm here. It's really only been in the 80s, but it's warm. It does not feel like fall yet. So yes, I'm complaining, I'm sorry. I don't mean to complain, but I am. So anyway, we're all good. My son, my middle child came home yesterday for a couple hours. He's just 2 hours away in College Station, and he's been sick probably since the beginning of the semester. I don't think he's ever completely gotten well. So he came home to see a doctor here at home, and so he did that, and he and I went and voted together. It was his first time to vote, so that was cool. And yeah, we're just doing all the things. And my youngest was in a play last week that he'd been preparing for. He was in the play Harvey and did really well. He was he was the doctor, or they kind of split the roles, so he was one of the doctors. But anyway, and then my son Michael, who's a senior, he was a stage manager for that play, and so now they're going to be focusing on, they've been working since the beginning of the semester, but now their focus is going to turn to Little Mermaid for their musical class, which will be, oh gosh, probably 2.5, 3 weeks that will be, they'll be performing that. So much fun. I love that. So anyway, I guess I should start the stitching. So, all right, I had a couple finishes since I last saw you. It's been about 3 weeks. I'm sorry for not getting back. I really wanted to get back sooner, and just didn't happen. So I think last week I thought about coming back for a video, but then I was kind of like almost finished with something, and then my husband was out of town, so I was kind of off. Anyway, I'm here now, and I'm glad to be here, and I'm glad you're watching. So I showed you, or I told you last time, that for the last few months of the year I decided I'm going to do a whip go board and just fill in the numbers that hadn't been called. Somehow I think whatever I'd written down for September, I don't even think I remembered to do it, so I'm not sure what happened. So I had 2 that were never checked off, so I wasn't paying attention. But in October, the 2 whips that got called for my whip go was the Garden Gate Sampler by Prairie Schooler and ABC in the Round by Quiltify Designs. I tried to put on my whip go board things that I just don't normally gravitate to, and I really don't have any grand plans for it. It is really just, I'm like, okay, if I can pull that whip out during the month and give it some attention, whatever that is, whether it's a day, whether it's a week, I don't know. And so far I'm actually liking it. I'm excited I've pulled out the ones for November, and I'm excited to get my hands on those and put in some stitches and see what happens. So, but one of the finishes I had was one of my whip go pieces, and so I don't have the chart, I put it away, but I did finish the Garden Gate Sampler. It was one that I pulled out, and I looked at it when I pulled it out of the project bag, and it was like, I can finish this month and get that whip off my list, which is great. So here it is. Oh, weird, I did something about that. So I should look. So this is the Garden Gate Sampler. This is a little mini cutting board, but it works great. This is the Garden Gate Sampler. I stitched this on. It looks like light mocha with the called for DMC. I love how it turned out. So I haven't decided yet how I'm going to, what I'm going to do with it yet. So there's some other things that would like to frame or finish before I do this one can be done for this late spring or whatever. It's so funny because I used to be such an immediate finisher, FFO'er. I would get something done and it'd get framed on the wall, and I don't know what's happened to me. I'm kind of falling behind on my I think we went through that drawer of finished items not too long ago. So I pulled out some the other day, actually. I was like, okay, I want to try and get these FFO'd and framed. So there is that finish. I love how it turned out. It is so sweet. So I'm really happy to have that one done. So it's the Garden Gate sampler, and from Prairie Schooler. Okay, next one that I finished. I told you, I showed you last time that I was ready to start Maggie May from Stacy Nash, the Animal Cracker. And I did. I started it probably a day or two after that video, and I finished it, and I just, oh, I love her. And immediately after that I started Clovis, so pretty excited. So that's the chart, and you can see how her colors are originally called for here. So I used some of the called for colors and some I did not. Kim, Contented Needleworker Kim, has a wonderful conversion where she did pinks, and I saw that and I had to do that. It was just so precious. So here she is. There's Maggie May, and she is stitched on 36 count straw from Weeks. I think this is, I don't even know if this is old or new Weeks. It doesn't matter. I don't mind too much. And I think I used most of what Kim called for in her conversion, unless I just didn't have it and I picked something else. Like I think my brown for the bunny is a different brown, but I really like it. And then I'm pretty sure the sweater and the dress pinks are actually the ones that Kim used. I made a change on her dress. I think if you look really closely, it was supposed to be green and white, and I went ahead and did them green and like little green leaves and aqua buds to make it look like little aqua buds. And then I did her shoes in Teal Frost. I pulled the Teal Frost actually from Clovis. Clovis calls for Teal Frost, and I have a whole little thing planned, and I thought, well, I want them together. Clovis and Maggie May are going to be together in a display, and so I thought it would be really fun for their colors to kind of be complementary. So we've got that Teal Frost, and I brought that in for her shoes. She's so cute. I can't wait to finish her. So that is Maggie May. She is just adorable. So those are my two finishes, and so while I'm on Maggie May, I will move into Clovis, because right after I finished Maggie May, I started Clovis. So Clovis is Animal Cracker's British series. She's a badger. I love her. So here's the deal. I have this vision in my head. I ordered a little house shelf that I thought was gonna work, and it's not gonna work, so I gotta keep looking. But what I want to do is finish Clovis and Maggie May next to each other. You know, they're cousins or friends, whatever we want to call them, from England and the United States. And they're going to be at, I don't know, Maggie May's house or at Clovis's house. So I need a little house shelf or a little house box that they can stand in. And I want to wallpaper it with some vintage little, you know, like rosebud looking paper or something, you know, Mod Podge some fabric on there. I'll probably stitch the tea kettle, and there's also a teacup in here as well. Stitch those. They're gonna have tea. I don't know. I just have a vision of decorating this cute little house box, and they're standing in it, and they're cousins. My kids think I'm nuts, so when I'm like, why are you stitching a badger? I'm like, well, I stitched the rabbit and they're friends, so anyway. So that's on the agenda. That's how I'm going to display them. And so here is Clovis, and she is also being stitched on 36 count straw, so the same linen. And that's how far I've gotten on her. And I think I am using all the called for colors on Clovis, actually. I don't know that I've changed anything. That's Maggie. I don't remember. I don't think I've changed anything on Clovis other than I didn't have mascara for the black, and so I'm just using DMC 310. So that's how far I've gotten on her, and I'm really excited to get her done, and I'm working on her upstairs when I stitch up here. So she's adorable. It's gonna make such a cute display, so I'm really looking forward to that. Okay, more whips. So the other one, this is a little bag that I made, is that I had put on my whip go board was ABC in the round, and I kind of showed you, I showed it to you last time, kind of showed you where I was leaving or where I was picking up when I pulled out the whip go project. So you can see here, this is what it looks like. There's also a replica, or I don't know what you call it, but this is patterned off of a sampler. I don't know where it went. I thought there was some information. Anyway, there is a sampler that's charted almost like it from Sassy Jack's, but I had already bought this one. So that is a beautiful Quaker. I think I told you last time I didn't like the colors that it called for. The DMCs really just weren't up my... So I sat there and I did a conversion myself to overdyed, and I really wanted it to look more like just that pastel-y kind of look with those beautiful pinks and blues and greens. And so I did a conversion to overdyed myself. If any of you have this chart and you would like to know what I have used, I can show it to you. But really, I mean, look at how pretty those are, aren't they? Look at that. The golds, 2 colors of golds. There's some blues, greens, 3 greens, some pinks, and I really enjoyed the time I spent on this one, and I made a nice amount of progress. So here, I think I need my board for this one. I need to look and see what, oh gosh, when did I ever start this? Okay, I found it. I started this in August of 2023, and this is a 36 count marble bunny from XG Designs. So I love it. It's a beautiful linen, really pretty, and it looks so pretty with these colors. So here is the progress I made. Maybe I'll do my board. Here is the progress I made. So I did quite a bit, really. I added a little bit to this right here. I did this whole motif, did those letters, I did that gold one, I did all these letters, and that motif, I did the green. So I did a lot of work on this and got far. I think that's the edge right there of the sampler. So that's as wide as it will be. And there's Doug. So really pretty. I love the colors. So I'm really glad that I made some progress on that because of my whip go. So that was really, I don't know, that felt good to pull that out. So I think as I consider, I think I will probably pull together, you know, it's not a big deal if I don't do it, so I think I will still go ahead and pull together a whip go board for 2025, and again, maybe hit on near, at least some of them, those whips that maybe I'm not quite as drawn to work on all the time. And so I think that might be a good use of the whip go board. So those were my 2 whip goes. I had a finish out of one, and I put in some good time on another one. So the other thing that I have been working on lately is, I'm trying to get this done by the end of the year, Plum Street Samplers, This Joyous Season. And I think I've told you I've cut off this part down here, and I'm going to decide whether I want to move that or not. So I love this chart, but again, I really want to get this done. I don't want this carrying over. You've heard me say I gotta be really careful about starting big Plum Street houses in the future. I do love them, but there's something about them. I get stuck. So, but I've made a ton of progress on this, and I really, I know I'll be able to finish this before the end of the year. So, I will show you what I've done. So my trees over here are all done. There's the line of snow at the bottom. The house and all the windows, that's all completely done. I did this, I finished this basket up here. I've started working on the greenery and berries and things and flowers that'll come out of it. That doesn't take very long at all. I did this sleigh with the flowers. That's a tree to fill in, another one, and then this one's a really short one right here. And then I put in the flag, and if you look at the chart, in the chart, is that the Australian flag? I forget. It gives you a couple options. You can do the Australian flag from the Australian country of Australia, but it gave you an optional US flag to do as well, and it had the little circle of stars on it, the older United States flag. And I actually did part of it, and it had some over one in it, and I just didn't like how it looked, and I wasn't that impressed with it. I did the over one, but I didn't like it. So then I started thinking I can make this my own. And so I just changed the flag to Texas flag. Same colors as the American or the Australian flag. And I just did a Texas flag. So I put a little white star on the blue background, and the white at the top and the red. It is actually, it's only, so the red and white would be even, it's only one row extra at the bottom. But I'm really glad I did that. That really makes it fun for me that it's personalized in that way. So we in Texas, we love all things Texas and our Texas flag. So I'm gonna keep working on that one. That is what I'm currently working on downstairs, and like I said, I would like to get that done. And if I can at least get it to the point too where I've only got a little bit left to do, then I may put it away and then bring it back out. But I think it'll get done before Christmas for sure. The other thing I worked on just because I wanted to was his eyes on the sparrow. I don't think I have a cover page for his eyes on the sparrow. I had my friend print it for me in color, but I don't have the cover page, which is fine. I think y'all know what it looks like, but I'll insert a picture of it here. It's from Heartstring Samplery. So y'all know that I have finished and framed Consider the Lilies, and it's obviously one of my favorite things I've done. And I did that one in DMC, and I am working on his eyes on the sparrow, and I'm actually doing it with the overdyed. So when I came back to cross stitch late 2019, I picked up Consider the Lilies in probably March of 2020, and at that point I was just getting back into cross stitch, and of course I chose the largest thing I could, but I decided I would do it in DMC because I was convinced I was not going to get into collecting overdyed floss. Well, overdyed floss happens to actually be my very favorite thing to stitch with. I could silk, take it or leave it. DMC I do enjoy, but I love overdyed floss. So I decided when I did his eyes on the sparrow that I was going to do it in the overdyed flosses. So there they are. So pretty. And I've made some nice progress. I want to say this is mocha as well, or maybe it's, let's see if I can find out really quick without pausing. I started this kind of on a whim last year. We're like, yep, let's just do it. Yep. Antique ivory. So just Zweigart antique ivory. And let's big old piece, right? But here is where I am. That's how much I've done. It's gonna get like it was with Consider the Lilies. At some point it got hard to show. So you can see, I remember I changed my house color, but I've passed the midpoint at the top, and then you can see I turn the corner. It's really hard to do. Turn the corner down at the bottom with the border. So yeah, I'm really happy about that. I know, I think what I worked on. Let me see if I can show you. I finished some flowers up here. I did this flower and I did that horse. I think I did that. And then I came down and finished, like I said, that border and turned the corner, did a few flowers, and then I started working on these motifs here. And I did all of those. So I love it. It's really fun, and just really is a joy to stitch on. So I'm really glad I get to put some time in on that one. Okay, is that all my whips? I'm pretty sure that is all my whips that I have worked on in 3 weeks since I've seen you. So let me tuck that away and put those down here. I think the next thing I want to show you is what came up on my whip go for November that I want to work on. I think when I get to a stopping point on this joyous season downstairs, then I'll pull out a whip go and work on that. So one of them that came up is what I call Mrs. Wiggles. It is the sampler, I don't have the color, but I'll put a color picture. Mary Wigglesworth from Hands Across the Sea. April _ Heirlooms has finished hers, and it's beautiful. I love the colors. Here are all the colors. I think I'm missing one somewhere that I pulled for another project. But when I pull her out, I'll find the missing color. But look how bright and beautiful those colors are. So those are my colors. And I don't remember what I'm stitching her on. I can look. If you want to know, ask me. But look how beautiful that is. That's all I've got done. Oh, but I'm really looking forward to working on her. Beautiful colors, really, really pretty. So that is one of the whip goes. So I'll need to take that downstairs so I can have that ready to pull out. Okay, so that's gonna go downstairs. I gotta sort my stacks here. The other one that came up is called Our Happy Place from Twin Peaks Primitives. Twin Peak Primitives, it's Our Happy Place. And there is the black and white. I don't have the color, but I just think it's so sweet. I love those roses. It says this is Our Happy Place. So this one, actually, I may pull this one out first and start working on it. Because I honestly think I can do this one. I might get a finish on it. I'm stitching this with the called for DMCs. And that's how much I've done. But it's really sweet. I love that rose. So she's all done. Another matching rose. I can start on the house and it's really not that big, honestly. I can start on the trees and the house and the sheep. Do the matching rose. It's not that much. So we'll see. If I don't get it done, I don't get it done, but I will have put in some good time on it, and so I'm excited about pulling that one out to work on. I don't have any plans to start anything new right now. We're getting close to the end of the year. I may do one more fall piece if I can fit one in November. I think I have plans to do more. I did more Halloween this year than I thought I would do, so that's one thing. And then I need to finish Christmas ornaments and so on and so forth. So I think that's all the stitching that I did. So now let's move into a couple other things. I have been working on my English paper piecing, both my Christmas one and my tiny little hexies. I don't really have any big progress to show there, just making slow and steady progress. But I have been working on that. I have not done any applique lately. I've wanted to work on some wool, but I haven't pulled that out yet. So I'm gonna just get busy, right? And things, I don't know. Anyway, but I do have a couple things to show you. One, I made a project folder, I guess you would call it, or a project portfolio. I found this pattern on Etsy, and that's upside down. It's called the Stitcher 6. And it's Christine Sherman Designs. Chris Sherman, I think you might find it on Etsy. I'll put a link below. But it is a project, a 6-pocket needlework supply case. And so I downloaded this pattern. She has lots of really good patterns in her shop. And I made a project folder. I don't think I've shown you this yet. I think I made this after I saw you. So that is some beautiful fabric. Oh, I love that. So I used that fabric on the front and back. There's the spine. We did the spine in a different fabric. And the binding, I didn't love my binding. I would have made it a little bit bigger, but I also didn't use the soft and stable. Or did I? I did. I forget. There's something I think I did that made it a little bit thicker. Maybe I used fusible fleece instead of interfacing on the pockets. That might be it. It made it a little thicker, so I'm not sure my binding was as big as it needed to be, but it worked fine. It's all done. And then you open it up on the inside. And I just did some different coordinating. That's the inside there. There's a pocket, another pocket. This is the zipper. Got a zipper pocket here. I don't have anything in it yet. I don't know why. Put a red inside that zipper. I'll put it in here. Put that same red in there. These are supposed to be vinyl. I don't like vinyl, so I just made some adjustments to the pattern to make them all fabric pockets in places, which is fine with me. So you technically have a place for 6 things. You have that, and a zipper, and then the same over here, that pocket, and then the zipper. So I love it. I think it turned out really pretty. I didn't do any sort of closure. It just kind of holds itself. It's stiff enough. So anyway, it's really pretty. I just can't decide what to put in it. What should I do? Thoughts? Let me know what you think. But I will put a link to that chart below, or that pattern, and you can try that out for yourself. If y'all have any other good recommendations for patterns like that, let me know. The other thing I was really excited to get in the mail, I had wanted to start collecting these Needle Love books ever since I saw Lisa, Kindred Stitcher. She had found some, and I was like, wow, those look really cool. I'd never seen them in person. And yet I didn't want to spend a whole lot on any one book, but I found a lot on eBay for, I think it was $30 for the whole thing, for all 3 books. And so I thought, well, it's $10 a book. I think I'm willing to try that. And I like the ones that were included in the lot. So really fun books. I really am going to keep my eye out for more just really beautiful projects. I mean, there's wool projects, there's quilts, there's punch needle. Let's see what else. There's another, there's a cross stitch in this one, a strawberry cross stitch. Let's see, strawberries to make. So I got that one. That's strawberry threads. And then I got flower bed threads. Was in the lot. And, you know, again, there's a quilt. Applique quilt. Let's see, I'm trying to show you some of the pictures. There's a cross stitch and some pretty wool things to make. A lot of these were designed, well, not a lot, but I already pulled my little, look at pretty. Quilts and pillows and wool and a bird and really, really pretty things to make. Picture. Let's see, I got one more picture. Oh, I love this. I almost started this one day, but I didn't have a piece of wool big enough for the background. So the Houston Quilt Festival starts tonight actually, and I'm gonna go on Friday afternoon, and that's something I'd like to look for, is a couple of pieces of larger wool or some wool to add to my stash, because I really do like working with it. But I thought that was really beautiful. So that one's called Flower Bed Threads, and then this one is Liberty Threads. And some of the designers, it's really kind of neat. Barb Adams and Maggie both contributed to a lot of these books, and so there's some really beautiful things in here from both of them. Some fun things here. Let's see what else. Just a really, really neat variety of little dolls, pillows, a variety of things to make. Some really pretty things. That quilt's really beautiful. How about that? Very beautiful. Let's see, one more thing. Yep. I love these. Here's a cross stitch. And then of course we got some on the back. So yeah, I would keep your eye out for these books. I'm gonna keep my eye out when I'm in antique stores and used bookstores, and if I see any, if they're a decent price, I'll grab them. So that's really, to me, a really fun thing to collect. Oops, I need to put the instructions back in this one. So I have already made something out of one of them. I still want to make that wool project. But I was like, I was just dying. I was like, I gotta make something out of one of these books. So I did. So see this right here, this strawberry? I thought I need to make that strawberry, and it's in that lovely tiered tray. Really, really pretty. And so, you know, I'm cutting out the fabric and the pattern and things, and it's not like I'm a beginning sewist, but I was like, as I'm finishing the strawberry, I was like, man, I really just didn't think it would be this big. It's big. I made a few adjustments to the top. I didn't add any buttons to the strawberry, and actually I love it, but it just cracks me up that it's huge. So I have a giant strawberry. Probably could have done the little tip a little better, but it's good. It's good. So I chose 3 or 4 Civil War pink fabrics to make the strawberry. I think my friend April said, yeah, you should have known it was going to be that big when it called for, you know, 3 yards of fabric. It didn't really, but I don't know why. In my head, I was thinking it wasn't going to be this big. Anyway, totally cute. I used wool for the top. That's just kind of my design. I don't know if it was really supposed to look that way, but I do kind of like how it turned out. So it's resting downstairs on a shelf somewhere, and that's my giant strawberry. So you too could make a giant strawberry. I think it's hilarious. Okay, so I think that's all those. I have ordered, I'm going to try and make some of these to sell. I've had an idea for some strawberries, and I do want to sell them, so I have made one here. I won't show it to you yet. But I'm going to be selling some strawberries, and so I ordered, because I wanted to order some from a shop on Etsy, and again, I forget what it is, but I'll list it below. But I ordered 4 colors of crinkle ribbon, silk, or no, not silk. Is it silk? Yeah, it is. Of the crinkle ribbon. So there was this color called grass. I wanted a bunch of greens. This color is called Forest. This one is called Metal. And another green, this one is called Moss. So I got 4 different crinkle ribbon greens to work with and to try out. And then I also got this one. This is like a frayed ribbon in olive. It's frayed silk in olive, and it's really beautiful. I love that. So I bought those. I will put a link below to where I got those. If you're interested in checking out her shop, it's an Etsy shop. But she actually said, sent me a message and said she has even more in her on her website. So I will put a link to that as well below. I have a couple of other things I want to show you, and we're going to do the giveaway, and then I think we'll be done. Okay, just a couple other things. One I was going to show you is like, this is the calendar that I bought to kind of keep track of my stitching. I bought this in 2020 and started it, and it's almost up, 2020 to 2024. So I've had 5 years of stitching that are chronicled. I haven't done so well this year, but it's for the most part, for sure, all the starts and finishes and loosely what I worked on are included here. And the days that I did FlossTube videos. So I'm gonna have to order me a new one off of Amazon to chronicle the next 5 years. So that's kind of cool that I did that. So I'll link to, if I can't find this exact one, I'll link to something similar in the comments below. And if you're interested in doing something like that, that's how I keep track of my stitching. The other thing I wanted to show you, it just came from a purchase, and kind of, you know, I love old things, I love antiques, I love beautiful vintage looking things, antique looking things, and so I recently, I had wanted to acquire all these books at some point when my kids were little, and I had a couple that I got at a used library book sale, but they were actually really hard to find for a while and out of print. And I don't know how I came across it about a week or so ago, a week and a half ago, but the complete collection of this book has been republished. I haven't even looked to see if the what the copyright is on this, but or maybe it's just kind of they're printing it again. I don't know. But sweetest stories and illustrations, and it's the complete Brambly Hedge. I love opening up a book like this and displaying it somewhere downstairs, you know, for the season or something pretty like that. And so I ordered this book, and I was really thrilled to get it. The stories are sweet, but so are the illustrations, and I just love it. So that's a book that I got, and I'm gonna put that out somewhere downstairs. Which then reminded me, as I decorate, I like to put out some other books that just have really, really pretty pictures in them. One of them, I can't remember if my friend gave me this one or if I picked this one up. But I have this, it's a Susan Branch Autumn book. And I have a summertime one. I think my friend gave me the summer one. And then I don't have any of the others. But again, it's actually got recipes in it, but the drawings and the words, and there's a poem. It's just so beautifully illustrated by Susan Branch, and it's just so much fun to display and to just sit and look at. I love that. The one that actually got me started on that, and I bought this used copy a while back, is the beautiful artwork in this book from Edith Holden, The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady. This has some of the most beautiful, it has little pictures, it has beautiful artwork and poems and verses, and I love, love, love opening this up and displaying something like that on, in a vignette. I think I've had that one open for October. I just think they're beautiful, and I don't know, I just love beautiful things to look at, right? Look at that beautiful one. So pretty. So I bought this used somewhere, but I love putting this out. That's probably my favorite of all of them, but that's just something I wanted to share with you, something that I like. If I can, I will link to these books below: The Country Diary of an Edwardian Lady, the Susan Branch books, and then the complete book of Brambly, Hedge. I'm a book person. Okay, it is time for our giveaways. So I think I told you last time that I had 5 giveaways, and these are giveaways that I have tried to give away in the past and absolutely no one has claimed them. So I started with a clean fresh slate last video, number 77, and I am giving away these 5 and I'm announcing the winners today. Hopefully all 5 of you will claim them this time so I can get them in the mail to you and you can enjoy them. So that was just really weird to me that I mean, what, 78 videos later? How long have I been doing this? 4 years, and I've never had that happen where so many people in a row did not claim their giveaways. So anyway, hopefully y'all will claim them this time. So the first one that I gave away is the floral motif sampler, and you had to use the word sampler if you wanted to win this chart. And so the winner for the floral motif sampler is so congratulations. I would like you to email me. I will not comment on your comment. Okay, so giveaway number 2, let me put my bag here, is the Butternut House Pin Keep by Stacy Nash. And the word for this one was pin keep, and the winner for this is all right, so email me. My email is in the drop-down box below. I will not comment on your comment, but please watch the video and see your name and email me. The next is this adorable chart, Happy Haunting from Lizzie Kate. And thank you to my friend for letting me share this with y'all and give this away. And the word for this was ghost. And the winner for this is so if you just saw your name, please email me. My email is in the drop-down box below. Let me know what you won and then your name and address. Otherwise, it might get a little complicated. And lastly, we have the strawberries. This first strawberry was dark. The word was dark. And the winner for this is so email me, please. Congratulations. I'd love to send it to you. And the word for this one was light. And the winner for this one is so yes, all 5 of you have won something. So if you can send me an email, let me know what it is that you just won and your name and address, and I will get that out in the mail to you. I hope I get 5 winners claiming their prizes. I do not have a giveaway this time, and so with that, I will end my video and I will say goodbye. I hope that you've enjoyed everything. I hope that you are enjoying your stitching and your sewing and whatever you're up to right now. I hope it's cooler where you are than it is here. And I look forward to seeing you in a couple weeks, hopefully 2, and see what we've been up to as we get into November. Can't believe it's already November, but God bless you. I'll be thinking about you and praying for you, and have a great couple weeks. Take care. Bye.